Living among the wild isn't just daily life in Tanzania. To so many people that we met, it's also a powerful responsibility. A responsibility they feel for the animals, for their families, and their communities. The call of the wildebeest can be heard each summer across the Serengeti. The Great Migration, a draw to other travelers like Jennifer Parker.
I wanted to see the mass migration because I haven't seen that, and that's kind of one of the highlights of Africa. But this will be something like never seen before.
Wildebeest by the hundreds of thousands, and they're not alone. The wildebeest initiates the pilgrimage in search of water, but it's the zebra that leads. They have eyesight better equipped to spot predators. As safari guide Edie points out, they also have an impressive digestive system.
That's why all year round, they are fat. They don't suffer for food.
The food is also the reason they lead. Zebras eat the top of the grass, wildebeest the bottom. Rebecca Snyder says it's not a coincidence.
They live together, and there's a reason for that, right? They need each other, basically. They rely on each other. So you see the interconnectedness of all these different species.
Just as the people who share the land.
If you take the wildlife also will take care of your life.
Safari guide Harry would know. He's brought tourists to the parks for over 20 years. The pandemic showed him a glimpse of life without them. What was that 2 years like?
2 years, it was terrible. It was terrible because, most of the guides, they put the bond, the valuable things, and also some of them they sold the items to get food and to survive or take care of the kids, like school fees, something like that.
Survival for families and for communities.
So that's why we say it's very important to protect the wildlife. And also even the management of the park, it's always educating people the importance of protecting the resources we have. You see that schools? We did build with the money we got from people who are visiting the park. So if you protect these animals, means it's going to provide more things to you, like schools, hospitals, and even drilling wells to you. So this is encouraging people, and most people now are understanding the importance of protecting the wildlife.
From local towns to tribal villages like the Maasai. They welcome guests with traditional song and dance, wrapping them in African blankets and handing the men a rungu, the emblem of a Maasai warrior. The Maasai migrated to Tanzania in the 16th century. For them, not much has changed. They make fires the traditional way. Live in traditional huts made of mud and dung. The family compound is called a boma, surrounded by makeshift fences, protecting them from predators. More importantly for the Maasai, it protects their cattle.
So all this protection for the animals. No animal can come and cross in to go inside there, because those are like a tree, let's call acacia trees. Because they have thorns, so whatever such like a hyena or something go in there.
It's just one of the natural elements they have to protect against, because their lives center around the cattle herd. For the Maasai, it's a religious calling.
So those are young boys, you see them? Those are just getting more practical. Raise the cow themselves. And if we become about 15 years old, they know everything.
It was here we met Lazaro. He sees it as the Maasai's job not only to protect cattle, but protect the other wildlife in their midst.
The Maasai conserve them because we not kill them. Even if someone kill them, we really feel more painful to see them, they kill the animals. But we don't have any way to stop because they can account for their own interest.
Is it important for people to help conserve?
Yes, of course. That's very, very, very important to have conserve this because give for the generation. So that's very important. Yeah, that's very important because give for our young generation to come later.
And for your kids and their kids.
Yes, kids until millions into million generation. So we conserve that. That's a good one. We like it.
Conservation important not just to traditional pastoralists, but to modern farmers.
We have to take care of the nature, if not, they will take care of us. So it's really the way I see my life.
Outside of the Ngorongoro crater, you can find Wilbard Chambulo working on his land from sunrise to sunset. Organic farming, of which he's quite proud.
This is a cow. You can see. This is coming from the cow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the manure.
Manure, yeah, loose.
Smells like manure.
Smell pea.
That's right.
Yes, you can see the difference of how healthy this is.
His lodges are self-sustaining, the food grown and raised right here. Like so many in Tanzania, Wilbard was born into poverty. As a safari guide, he saved enough money to buy a farm in 2000. Now,
We have at least 30 lodges and camps, 30. We have to feed 1,300 people a day, including my staff, maybe 2,000. Yeah. It's crazy.
with you, I mean, over the last 2 years, so many tourists weren't traveling. They weren't visiting.
Oh, disaster. You tell me that. In March, it was no tourist arriving, no plane coming, nothing. Can you imagine? We have to close all the lodges, all of them. We have to send 470 staff out of the work.
He sees conservation as the means to keep tourists coming.
Protecting the land
Yes,
protects the animal.
yes. It
Animals
is.
are protected, the tourists come see it.
Yes,
The tourists come see it.
comes in and cycle is going. So if more and more people can do that, or more and more tourists can come to bring the dollar, we can protect even more because there is the opportunity.
Opportunity for those like Baba Dingi.
The coffee berries, those who are not ripe enough, and they have less caffeine.
He travels 8 miles to give tours of the coffee crop.
So when Baba Dingi, I'm walking back home, I'm very happy. Looking for the red ones, not the green, not the yellow.
And occasionally performs for guests.
It is important for the future generation, and to make sure our young generation, they will see, they will meet what we had before. Yeah, so that's why it is very important, and also it's good to keep the natural.
Conserving it, conserving the land, the animals, the wildlife. It's important for your way of life.
Yes, for me, yes. How many of 60 million people doing the same?
He sees it as a beneficial partnership, like the partnerships that are all around him.
All of the life on the planet is interconnected with the plants and all the other animals. So when we start to lose big segments of biodiversity, habitat, or species, that affects all of us, including the people.
A reliance, whether it's during migration or just daily life in Tanzania.
Yeah, my life is depend on it. So I depend on them, they depend on me. So it's like a symbiosis. It's like a symbiosis, yeah.
After the break, we travel across Lake Victoria to seek out those who live in the shadows of volcanoes. It's Wheels Up for Rwanda when we come back.